Please note, if you wish to be heard at this meeting, please sign the speaker list provided on the table at the right side, my right side of the council chamber. I reserve the right to limit the amount of time each speaker has for each agenda item, and tonight each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak for an agenda item. Warren Litchfield is not with us tonight, so I'll ask that everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by the mayor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call roll, Ms. Rao.
Mr. Ricks?
Here.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Here.
Mr. Smalls?
Here.
President Les?
Here.
Mayor Mel?
Here. Okay, agenda item number 5, approval of minutes of the 25th meeting of January 9th, 2017, will be deferred for action until February 13th, 2017 at 7 p.m. at our next mayor and city council meeting. Move to agenda item number 6, report of the mayor and city council, and tonight I'm going to call on the mayor first.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, the City of Laurel and the dedicated employees send condolences to the family of the Department of Public Works employee Marcus Colbert, who was struck and killed in the line of duty. The accident happened at 9 a.m. today, January the 23rd, 2017. Police say it appears that the driver of the SUV headed east on Old Sandy Spring Road hit a parked car at Casul's Way and then slammed into Marcus, who was working behind the city trash truck loading trash into the tailgate. He died at the scene. Marcus, who turned 30 on January the 9th. He was the City of Law's first fatality while working on the job. Investigators say the driver of the black Lincoln Navigator who hit Marcus refused treatment but remained on the scene for questioning. So far, the investigators have not said why her vehicle struck the car or the trash truck. Marcus, a lifelong resident who is single and does not have any children, started working for the City of Laurel on June the 16th, 2003. In the Department of Park and Recreation as a summer auxiliary employee. He was hired by the Department of Public Works as a laborer on September the 19th, 2005. His father, Ralph Brent, has worked for the Department of Public Works for 23 years. A cousin, Norman Hall, has worked for the Department of Public Works for 5 years. Marcus's father and cousin were on the job today, but in different trucks and did not witness the accident. The City of Laurel will ensure that Marcus Colbert's memory lives on in the City of Laurel for years to come. I want to thank the many calls, emails, and text messages that we have gotten from many expressing condolences and offering assistance and donations. Marcus will be remembered for his smile, his willingness to help everyone, and for his strong work ethic, and just for being a kind person. Funeral arrangements are incomplete at this time. I've spoken to both Marcus's mother and his father, and we wished them and offered our condolences to both, told them we'd be there for them anytime they need anything. And we've also talked to members of the Department of Public Works. I want to offer my condolences to the members of the Department of Public Works who not only had to continue to work during this very difficult time today, but tomorrow and elsewhere we'll have members down there. Tomorrow we'll be talking to them as well throughout the day. And again, I just can't say enough about members of the council, city staff, and all the work that they've done today, and been very difficult day to day, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Nicholas.
Thank you. I too send my condolences to the Colbert and Brent family, to friends and his co-workers, and I ask that we bow our heads for a moment of silence. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholas. Ms. Crary?
No report. I just echo the sentiments of my mayor and colleague.
Thank you, Ms. Crary. Mr. Smalls?
Thank you, Mr. President. I also want to echo my colleagues in extending condolences to the family of Marcus Colbert. There aren't any words to express how not just I as an individual, but what I felt around City Hall and around the city in the loss of such a wonderful young man. Mr. President, if I could, I'd also like to make a couple of announcements. The Maryland Municipal League Convention Planning Committee has completed our planning for the summer conference this year, with planning for workshops and keynote speakers that we will have at the convention. And I think with the lineup of workshops, a nice diverse number of workshops, all of us will participate. We'll find, we'll enjoy what we have to offer. I want to wish happy birthday to former Mayor Joe Robinson, who celebrated his birthday recently. And finally, the Regional Medical Center, the planned Regional Medical Center will have, there'll be an update on the status of that project. For those of you who may not know, Prince George's County and University of Maryland medical system has been working together along with other stakeholders to build a new Regional Medical Center in Largo. The update will take place this Saturday, January 28th at Prince George's Community College in the Student Center at 9:00 a.m. That's my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls. Mr. Ricks?
Thank you, Mr. President. I too want to send out my sympathies to the family of Marcus. Marcus, I can testify, was an employee of the city that was caring. He was humble. He had energy. He always had a smile on his face, and he had a great work ethic. I remember recently seeing him come up in front of the house, and he always recognized the aged people in our community, and he would pick up their trash can and take it back to the front door so that they wouldn't have to come out to the street to get it. These kinds of qualities are those of, like, a lot of our employees, but nevertheless, Marcus will be sorely missed. He was a great person, and my sympathies are out to the family and to the rest of the city as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ricks. As many of you know, I have a grandson, and he has nicknames, including a nickname for me. And his nickname for Marcus was Marky, because it just so happened that for the first 4 years of his life, his nanny was on Prince George Street. And when Marcus would come down the street, especially in the summertime, he would tell his nanny that here comes Marky. And they'd go get him some cold water, he and the other members of the truck. So he was, he not only had a smile for everybody, but I mean, the children all seemed to remember him. Here's the man with the yellow truck, here's Marky. He will be missed. Also, condolences to the Stoner and Beard families on their recent loss of Danny Stoner, a lifelong resident of Laurel. Wanted to mention two other things. Earlier last week, or late last week, I attended a project, the Cattail Creek Project in Woodbine, Maryland. This is a stream restoration project, 6,000 lineal feet of stream bed. It is at the very head of the Patuxent River watershed, and it's on private property. The county's spending money, WSSC is spending money. And I think it sort of indicates the commitment of the various counties and communities and people to improving the water quality in the Patuxent River and the Chesapeake Bay. I want to welcome the Weeblo Scouts from Troop 606. They're here with us tonight from Hammond Elementary, and I'll be spending some time with them after the meeting to answer their questions. That concludes my report. Did you have anything else, Mayor?
I did forget to mention, we've had people that want to donate, make donations. I've asked Department of Finance, if you'd like to make a donation to Marcus's family, you can make a check, drop it here at City Hall, or send a donation to the City of Laurel. Make checks out to the City of Laurel. On the check in the memo section, you can put Marcus Colbert family, and we'll make sure that the funds get to the family. Also, Mr. President, a couple other things. Did want to mention on the 13th, the city employees did hold their annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day wreath laying out in front of City Hall, as well as we did hold the quarterly meeting with our principals. We have a quarterly meeting with the principals. It was hosted this time around by the Laurel High School Coach Jones, Principal Jones, and I want to thank him for doing that as well. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. Move to agenda item number 7, general public hearing. I'll open the general public hearing at 7:10. I have no one signed up to speak at the general public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the general public hearing at 7:11. Move to agenda item number 8. Second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 1899, an ordinance amending City Code Chapter 8, licenses, permits, and business regulations to add Article 7, body art establishments. I've read the title into the record for the second reading. I will open the public hearing at 7:11. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing at 7:11 and a half. What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I move that we approve ordinance number 1899, an ordinance to amending the City Code, Chapter 8, licenses, permits, and business regulations to add Article 7, body art establishments.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Curry. Any discussion? Call the roll, Ms. Rowe.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas? Yes. President Les?
Yes.
Mayor Mel?
I'll concur.
Move to agenda item number 9, second public hearing on ordinance number 1900, text amendment number 244, an ordinance amending the City of Laurel Unified Land Development Code, Section 20-9.5, to add hotel motel uses in the I-RTP zone. I read the title into the record for the second reading. I'll open the public hearing at 7:12. I have Mike Nagy signed up to speak. If you come forward, state your name and address for the record, sir. And you have the microphone.
Thank you.
Turn it on, push the button, it'll go green.
There we go. Thank you very much, Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. For the record, Mike Nagy with the law firm of Rifkin, Wiener, Livingston. Just wanted to thank your staff for working with us, and I'm available for any questions that you all might have. Thank you very much.
Okay, are there any questions of Mr. Nagy? Thank you, Mr. Nagy.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:13. What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President,
Mr. President,
Yeah.
we're not scheduled for action on this tonight. We're going to have a third public hearing with the public hearing of record at the next meeting.
Oh, I apologize. So Mr. Nagy gets to come visit us again. I apologize. Okay, so there'll be a third public hearing on February 13th, 2017 at 7 PM with possible action that evening. Thank you, Mr. Nagy. You get to make another trip here. Move to agenda item number 10, introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1901, Fourth Amendment to the City of Laurel Employees Retirement Plan as amended and restated effective July 1, 2013. I've read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open the public hearing at 7:14. I have no one sign up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:14 and a half. I will entertain a motion to suspend the council rules.
so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Ricks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Crary. Call the roll, Ms. Rao.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas? Yes. Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
President Les?
Yes. Thank you. I'll now entertain a motion for action on ordinance number 1901.
Mr. President,
Mr. Ricks.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 1901 as submitted.
Thank you, Mr. Ricks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, Ms. Rao.
Mr. Ricks?
Aye.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas? Yes. Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
President Les?
Yes.
Mayor Mel?
Thank you, council, for taking the action. I'll concur.
Okay, that concludes the business of the council. Meeting's adjourned. Okay, thanks, appreciate that. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to talk to the Weeblo Scouts now.
I think we should go get 10 more then.
Okay, excellent, thanks. Appreciate that, Craig.